Sergeant Barnes, United States Marine, and what you're looking at here is our USMC tribute corvette, made in honor of all of those that served in Vietnam, but specifically the 33 Marines on the back hatch from my squadron and one from 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marines. And I met with Mike LaValle and described to him what I anticipated seeing when I came back to pick the car up, was that the vehicle had to be all about the Marine Corps, it had to be very dignified, and it had to be about my guys on the back. Basically gave Mike the pictures, and at that point I had no idea what it was going to look like when I came back to pick it up. What Mike is depicting here is a 34 coming in a flare, coming in to do a medevac for the Marines that are on the driver's side of the front fender. He said that he had put the smoke coming up over the hood so that if you followed your eyes back with the smoke, you end up with the eagle at the top that is overlooking the situation going on the ground. Basically, looking out for us. The most significant part of this vehicle is on the back hatch. The purpose for this whole project was to bring attention to the 34 Marines that are on the back, and obviously the price they paid for fighting for somebody else's freedom, but obviously for American ideals. The passenger side fender is a photo taken by a combat photographer by the name of Larry Burrows. These are wounded Marines on the back of a tank, and this was also the Battle of Way City. On the very top of the car is the actual HMM 362 Ugly Angel patch. Well, you look at the 34, the helicopter, it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. But when you're wounded, or you need ammo, or you need help out of a zone, you're an angel. There's 33 Marines that are acid etched in this window. There's the 34th Marine down here at the bottom, Corporal Al Tate, was put on because of a friend of mine, actually my best friend, Al Arguedas. Corporal Tate was one of the mainstays up in what they call the hill fights. He was obviously killed up there when they took a lot of casualties, but he was one of the mainstays in that fight. Most of the casualties that were taken in the Vietnam War, half of the Marines that were killed in the total 14 years were killed the 2 years I was there. We had a little over 8,000 Marines killed, and that was a reflection of the casualties that we took during that period of time.
Mr. Barnes, John Hennessey. Lou,
Yeah.
so nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Man, thank you for a lot of things. Thank you for your service, your patriotism.
Joined the Corps at 17. Within a year I was over in Vietnam.
Wow.
And I spent 13 months from August 68 to September 69 as a crew chief gunner on one of those. Made it out. I came back, finished up my time up at Whidbey Island. Probably the first 10 years of my life was a struggle, you know, just trying to make it for my wife and 2 kids, and going to school at night, working 2 jobs, so you know the drill.
Sure.
And probably in my 30s, I started focusing a lot on what went on in Vietnam. We lost half of the Marines we lost in the whole war in those 2 years. It was like that.
Wow.
But you start thinking about the guys you worked with, you served with, and that died. And none of them had a frown on their face. You know, they were go-for-it guys. Probably it was in the late 80s, early 90s. About 6 of us got together and formed the HMM 362 Ugly Angel Memorial Foundation.
Okay.
And it was 2 missions. One of them was to make a consolidated unit that we could get all our guys back together. The second was to memorialize our KIA, our dead Marines.
Right. This is not just a car. This is a rolling tribute to your guys, a memorial to your guys. And to see those names on the back window, I think it's so cool that anybody that sees this car at a car show, driving down the highway, we're out doing a test drive, it's very moving.
That's the purpose, John, was I bought the car because somebody said, "You're living your second childhood." And I said, "No, my first one I was killing people." I was 17 and 18, that was my childhood. So I was going to have fun with it. But the more I pondered that concept, I said, wouldn't it be neat to ride around with my guys?
Right.
So people started just flocking to this thing. Obviously not because of the Marine Corps, but just that looks different. The thing that impressed me on that little gig was 3 out of probably 400 people were kids that were standing at the back of that car for 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh.
There were only 3, but there were 3. and they would come and said, "Who are these?" And
Incredible.
That's the drill.
That's incredible. Well, it's an honor to have you here. It's an honor. It's been an honor to have your car in the shop, and you probably don't regard yourself as a hero. Probably the real heroes are the guys in the back window. In my humble opinion, I feel like anybody that puts on the uniform and is willing to go serve and protect other people, including getting shot at, you're a hero in my book. But I totally get it. The guys in the back window, they paid the ultimate price, and I think it's just incredible that you've done this. We're honored to be a part of this, and I hope that we can help tell this story. And I'm guessing that one of your goals is ultimately for those guys you serve with, that they're still remembered and appreciated, which absolutely.
There's a few people that do, and one of the purposes of bringing it here was twofold. My grandson told me to do it.
Okay, he's a smart kid.
Addison, that one's for you, buddy. But the more, when it's built to go through a Marine Corps event, they throw in the 850 or 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously people
absolutely
get excited about
sure.
it.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that will attract them to it.
Sure.
And then somehow end up at that back window.
Again, we've built in our history, we built probably 10,000 vehicles in the last 27 years. Some record breakers and really fast cars. I don't know that we've ever worked on a car that's more significant than your car.
Really appreciate
because it just, you know, I tell people, we talk about tuner school, I'm like, we modify cars for a living, and that's really cool, but I don't know that I've ever had a client say, they say, I love my car, it's fast, it's fun, but nobody ever says a car changed their lives. Today I have an awareness of the guys in Afghanistan, or, you know, Iraq was all still very present, 9/11, but we want to remember the guys from Vietnam.
No, that's
and
I get it. That's no heartburn, quite frankly,
Yeah.
on my part.
Right.
Because we were a team.
Yeah.
We would die for each other.
Wow.
And that's what them did.
Yeah.
And that's, you just can't remember those, or you can't forget those guys, and you try to live your life so that you can feel them around you.
And I appreciate you very much.
Bet, John.
Thank you for your service. Can we go for a drive?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, very cool. We'll go have some fun in the car. All right, let's go do a little horsepower.
All right.
I'm guessing that, you know, when you serve, your guys are hanging out of helicopter doors with 50 caliber machine guns, and I suppose there's probably a certain adrenaline rush that you get from cool, fun, exciting things. So
Like getting shot at.
well, yeah, that I can't even imagine.
Get your adrenaline going.
I can't even imagine. We'll roll in a second gear here, but pretty well hooked up. These are such great cars.
I really like it. Never had a Chevy before.
All right, here we go. Here comes the horsepower. Guy's name, Chesty Polar, and the chosen from Incheon, where they basically
at the
Chosun Reservoir in Korea. You know, the battle, and they basically walked out of there. And then, I guess they were like, the Chinese they were surrounded, but the Chinese knew they had inflicted so much pain on them. The Chinese basically kind of like let them out because they didn't want to engage them anymore.
Well, they engaged them all the way back.
Oh, did they really?
Very quickly, there were 3 Chinese divisions in front. There were 4 our Army guys behind them.
Okay.
Sometime during that week, the 3 or 4 Army divisions pulled back.
Okay.
And they were assumed the position with the Chinese. So they were surrounded at the Chosun Reservoir.
Oh, wow.
They were surrounded. And there's 2 things that Chesty said during that whole thing. Somebody said, are you going to retreat? And he said, retreat hell. I said, we're just fighting in another direction. But when he got told about this, they were now surrounded, he reportedly was smoking his cigar and he goes, how fucking standing. And somebody said, sir, he said, I can fight in any direction I want.
I got him right where I want him.
That's right. Don't let him get away. And he was the one tough son of a bitch. I probably didn't mention it, but I'm donating this to the Marine Corps Museum.
Oh man, that's so incredible.
There's one of our birds is in the entryway.
Where is that located? Is it
Quantico,
Quantico?
Virginia.
Okay, all right.
And
We feel some small part of your vision, of your memorial to these guys. I think for this, to put this video out next week, kind of to leading up to Memorial Day,
I really appreciate that.
Oh,
The guys on the
huge.
back, they're here, by the way.
yeah,
They're here.
yeah.
And
Thank
that
you.
would be really cool. They're hearing you, buddy.
Thank you.
You're a good man.
Thank you.
Good man.
Thank you, and all your guys, and their families, so much.
I have a memorial up at my house I built. I got a bench out there, and I've got tail rotor blades on this memorial with all their names on it. I get to go out there and sit on that bench at night, have a beer, talk
That's
to them.
awesome.
It is.
That's awesome.
It is. The presence that you feel of those guys, not every day, not all the time, not to bullshit you, but
Right.
when you go out there and sometimes you can really feel it.
Yeah. At some point you think I didn't say goodbye, I just said see you later.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Just a little small gap in time that you're not together.
When I got back, it was a bitter time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, I was an angry guy.
Right.
When I started progressing through and I'd see somebody that needed some help, not anything significant, it could be
Right.
frickin' stopping and helping somebody with some gas on the road. Do you do it? And you know that, am I making you guys proud? And as I move through my life, I swear to you, I try to find somebody that needs some help and give them that help in hopes that those guys, I'm doing this, the things that you guys would have done. And you can be that conduit.
I was watching Sniper, the Chris Kyle movie last night, and you kind of see that kind of what he went through, and once he realized that he could help other guys, help other
Yep.
veterans,
No doubt about
how
it.
much that healed him, at least that from the way they portray it in the movie.
No, he was a real deal.
Yeah.
And you'll find so many people out there. I'm nothing special, man. I mean, there's tons of guys that do this.
Right.
They know their brothers that paid the price, and then you can't say even that enough. But if you just live a good life, and
Absolutely.
pass it along, nobody needs to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not here, but then you can go to bed at night and feel really good. And maybe you get a nod from one of them.
Yeah.
And you let it sink in, the name and the date and what that means. Our guys put a great deal of pride in everything that they build and do, but when you realize that this is a rolling memorial to patriots who gave their lives for our freedom, it's pretty serious stuff. Heroes and horsepower, you're my hero, sir, and we will not forget you and your
Thanks, John.
teammates. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your patriotism and your leadership and example.